bet you're wondering what I'm doing here in the middle of the night, huh? Well, I felt that I should introduce myself. My name is Lucy Eleanor Moriatz. I think you should know that your family thinks we're engaged. I've never been engaged. It's all very sudden. But what I really came here to tell you is I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I don't know what to do. I mean, if you were awake, then I wouldn't be in this mess. Oh, but God, I mean, not that I blame you, it's not your fault. But see, ever since I was a kid, I always wondered what life would be like when I grew up. You know, what it would have and where I would live. And, I mean, it was just normal things. A house, a family. And I'm not complaining. I mean, I have a cat, and I have an apartment. I have sole ownership of the remote control. That's very important. But I never felt like there was someone that I could laugh with. Do you believe in love at first sight? You probably don't. You're very sensible. You ever think that you see somebody and you just know that if that person really got to know you, that they'd leave that supermodel that they're dating and choose you to be the one they'd share their life with? You ever fall in love with somebody you never even talked to? You ever spend the night just talking to a man in a coma? React to you, but
alive and present and able to respond.
yes, but I thought there's a possibility he could wake up.
And maybe.
But I just loved it's from While You Were Sleeping, which I love that movie, and
You love me?
I love you, and I love the movie While You Were Sleeping, and this is a lighter scene. I was wanting to try a little comedy.
You love me.
And I
I
love you. I don't know you, but I love you from afar. It's sort of, she works as a...
She, you.
Me, yes. I work as a toll collector, and you are someone who comes through my booth every day, and I've kind of loved you from afar and wished I could have a relationship with you, and one day something happens to you and you almost get hit by a train and you get knocked over and you're in a coma, but I take you to the hospital so people assume that I'm your girlfriend. So I kind of play along, and then his family comes and they fall in love with me, and I feed into that whole fantasy, and now I'm coming to kind of confess to you that what I've done.
It's not a bad thing. At all. Not a bad thing. You have a love of your life.
I thought it was you, but since you're taken by him, no, but since you've been in a coma, I've gotten to know your brother, and I'm falling in love with him.
And you expect that telling me that will help me to wake up?
I'm just confused and guilty and need to say.
But the question is, so you don't really have
a boyfriend or a husband? Never been married,
No. Lives alone with my cat.
and the remote.
Yes. So efficient.
Well, I am going to add a little element. That you have fallen in love. And that you desperately want me to come out of this. You are desperate. Because you had high hopes. High hopes. And maybe this would be something for you. Well, see if you can get me out of this.
I bet you're wondering why I'm here in the middle of the night. I should probably introduce myself. My name is Lucy. Lucy Eleanor Materens. I came here to tell you that your family thinks we're engaged. I've never been engaged before. It's very sudden. What I really wanted to say is, I never meant for any of this to happen. I don't know what to do. I mean, if you were awake, I wouldn't be in this mess. Oh, God. I didn't mean that. I mean, it's not your fault. I wish you were awake. It's just that all my life, I always wondered what it would be like when I grew up. What I would have and who I would be, and you know, just the normal things, the house or family, and I mean, you know, I'm not complaining. I mean, I have a cat, I have an apartment, I have sole possession of a remote control. That's very important. It's just, you know.
Okay, we're gonna go back. How are we doing so far? How are we doing
I'm
so
trying to, yes, bring my
How are we
love for
doing so
you out.
far?
Okay.
We're gonna be getting. And there are two things that are important. You are desperate. You have been thinking for a long time that you might really get to. You have fallen in love. Desperately. so begin.
I bet you're wondering what I'm doing here in the middle of the night. I thought I should introduce myself. My name is Lucy Eleanor Monrance. And I wanted to tell you that your family thinks we're engaged. I've never been engaged before. It's very sudden. But what I really want to say is that I never meant for this to happen. I don't know what to do. I mean, if you were awake, I wouldn't be in this mess. Oh God. It's not your fault. I'm sorry. It's just that when I was a kid, all I wanted was to know what my life would be like when I grew up. I just wanted to know if what I would have and how my life would be. And, I mean, nothing out of the ordinary, just family and a house. But, I mean, I'm not complaining. I have a cat. I have an apartment. I have a remote control. And that's important. But do you believe in love at first sight? You probably don't. You're too practical. Have you ever met someone and known that if they could get to know you, that they would just leave that supermodel they date and want to be with you and grow old with you? That's what I want. Have you ever loved someone with not ever even talking to them? Have you ever spent the night just talking to the man you love who's in a coma?
Okay, Cynthia, you are.